Welcome to the J.R. Hendrick Texan Night podcast that deals with the early life of J.R. Hendrick. And now, reading the story from August 12th to August 14th, Jimmy and J.R. August 12th, 1994, 3:40 a.m. Central. Waking up in the Hendrick suite in the DFW Hyatt. Jim goes and sits in the living room, thanking God that what happened last night, with only the last minute, the keynote address, and everything was canceled. Not because it was in the wrong hotel, because there was not enough tickets sold. Taking out his laptop and connecting it to the internet at the hotel. Jim sends an email to Erskine Bowles saying he will be taking today and Monday off as well. 6:15 a.m. Central. The party of Jim and Betsy, Joe and Kelly, Ellen and Frank, Micah and Amy go over to the chartered jet, which is a bombardier that would shortly be taking them to Washington, D.C. 7:20 a.m. Eastern. I asked the cook staff to fix me some breakfast burritos to have in my room with my girl, Hannah Lee. She knew my time was short. And she stated that when I left, she would leave the mansion after checking into the Ritz-Carlton. To go on with the rest of her stay in Washington, D.C. We listen to Christian radio and talk. 6:55 a.m. Central. The chartered jet meant for 3 ended up carrying 8 passengers from DFW Airport heading to Dulles International Airport. 11 a.m. Eastern. Landing, the plane stops and 8 passengers get out and heads towards the stretch limo to take them to the house in Chevy Chase, Potomac. 12 p.m. This is all Eastern now, unless otherwise noted. JR is in the entrance hallway by the stairs when his mother walks in with the rest of the crew. "Mama!" JR said, delighted, rushing over to hug her. "Oh, I missed you." "Your son has taught me so much. About you, Mrs. Hendrick," Hanley Walker said. "Now we're here. We're here. We can get Holly Hawthorne out of his system. But I'm not gonna be here until early Monday morning. But maybe we can. Now Bethany says there's burgers for lunch. So everyone, come on. And you too, Miss Walker." 1 p.m. Eastern. Jim is playing golf with Blake Carter as both vent about their career and personal problems. Meanwhile, I'm in the library with Debbie Castellano going through my career goals when Mama walks in and sees my acceptance letter, and she reads it to me. Dear Mr. Hendrick, congratulations. You have just been accepted to the Texas Tech School of Communications and Public Affairs. With a GPA of 2.5, you automatically qualify for acceptance to the school with an emphasis in political communications and advocacy. Please feel free to stop by the school, and the staff of the dean will show you around the library and other resources at the Center for Public Affairs. We look forward to seeing you soon. Sincerely, Roger Satie, Dean. Richard Grusinger, Associate Dean of Admissions. I'm proud of you, son. Your granddaddy would be very proud of you. And I know that your daddy and I are, Betsy said. 2 p.m. Eastern. Emily Cummings had me go by limo to the Longworth House Office building for a hearing. The time of deliberations of the House Conference Committee with concerns over the assault weapons ban. But there were also concerns with crime and small business. The Clinton administration was not adjusting to. "3 p.m. Eastern. With Christine Forever and Bobby back in the Hendrick Mansion, everyone, including JR, have a nice swimming party. 6 p.m. Jim invites JR to the home part of the mansion living room to talk. Good evening, JR. Good evening, Dad. Where is everybody? Amy's dad, Kathleen, took Bobby to dinner with friends tonight. Your mom and Christine are somewhere fussing over Christine's clothes. As usual, I understand Christine's going to the introductory prom at the Cornerstone Christian Academy. Going out with Francis Blackwell's boy, Blackwell Investments. A lot of power in Congress. JR takes his glass of ginger ale. Sit down, son. I'd like to talk to you. Well, sir, if it's about the internship, I think I can use that to help me with next year's internship with the Heritage Foundation. Not saying anything about your internship, boy. Or about the Heritage Foundation? Well, yeah. I ain't got nothing to worry about it. Dad, I'll talk to my dean. He'll get things set up for me. I gotta level with you. Seems like you almost always get what you want. But I want to talk to you about your private life. You're with Miss Walker and Holly Hawthorne. When was the last time you went on a date with Holly? Well, Dad, it's been about a week. But I had breakfast with her this morning. And we arranged for a date Tuesday night. Well, that's good. Alexandria, though. She told me that woman is good and ready to return to get her MBA. In Georgetown with passion. That's none of my business, Dad. You know, I've been thinking. You need a wife like that with class to help you with a demanding business. Don't mind you staying away at night every once in a while. Why aren't you seeing her more regularly? Daddy, please. Let me handle this. I wouldn't let her get away. I know you're trying to put some distance between yourself and her. But there's going to come a day when you're going to need her. You heard me said something about this about 3 years ago. I told you what Mama said, that she and I just ain't cut from the same cloth. Boy, that ain't gonna get. That ain't gonna satisfy me. She came into this room this morning. But you having breakfast with Mrs. Walker. Wanting to inspect your bed. Makes her a good wife. But your mom wants you to be hard on her. And that's something I'll never understand. No offense, Dad. But already having a girl I'm interested in back home. Jim swallowed some bourbon. Oh, Lord. She helped You make some good grandchildren. I want you to produce me a grandchild sooner or later, boy. Maybe even while you're in law school. Daddy always knew I wanted to produce a child to be a part of the family. But it all starts next summer with my work with the Heritage Foundation. Damn you and that Heritage Foundation. I just wish you'd think about your family and go find yourself a wife. Dad, I still got 2 years college left to decide. Let's not rush it. Now, Daddy, I'll do everything I can to make you proud, but within reason. You always be good at business, JR. Someday, you can become a good father, husband. I will, Daddy. Just give me time. I'll make you proud. As JR walks into the dining room, Jim takes another sip of bourbon and breathes a sigh. 7 p.m. Eastern. Jim and Betsy, Ellen and Frank sit in the balcony of the mansion, talking about things on their mind, namely the lives of their children. August 13th, 1994, 6:15 a.m. Eastern. JR and Betsy are in the mansion home chapel, reading the Bible and praying together. 7:15 a.m. JR is invited to the small family dining room to have muffins, and he is seated in between Amy, Kathleen, and Micah. Cousin Joe was having the same thing in the reception room with Kelly. It being their last full week together in Washington, D.C., before they could fly off to New Orleans. (8:45 a.m. Eastern). At the Hendrick Mansion, as Jim is making some management calls, the mansion is in the upstairs study, talking to congressional candidate Bill Hume, who was planning on making a trip to Marymount, Virginia, a ritzy suburb of Arlington, Virginia, which led directly to Ascension Hills, Virginia. 8 a.m. Eastern. Arriving at Midland International Airport, Tom and Diane helped Elizabeth down the stairs, and an aide gets her wheelchair ready to take her 1993 Mercedes. To go on a 10-minute drive back to the ranch. 8:25 a.m. Central. As the car pulled up in the drive at Swainfield, a whole bunch of ranch hands stopped to give a good holler and wave at the matriarch of the ranch, Elizabeth. As they drive in the driveway, she is smiling big. Arriving back at the ranch, and at the entrance near the staircase, when Elizabeth breathes in and makes this pronouncement, "I've been away for far too long now. You kids can enjoy touring the ranch and getting situated and acquainted. I'm going into the den to listen to my country music." 9:15 a.m. As all the adults invited my daddy to come and watch Schindler's List, but I had been warned about it by my philosophy class professor that it was a tearjerker and misrepresented the wrong ideas on ethical dilemmas. So I joined with Amy Kathleen to just study. You see, Amy Kathleen had already gotten her textbooks for the fall semester. So she thought she might study in advance. 1 p.m. Eastern. So here I am in the front lounge talking about college with my cousin Amy Kathleen. Some of the family was watching Wyatt Earp, and so she and I sat there and talked about our upcoming semesters. She being a freshman and I being a junior. 1 p.m. Central. At Swainfield, Elizabeth, Diane, Tom, and Kyle are on the front porch. The front porch patio, drinking some lemonade and talking. 3:20 p.m. Eastern. Frank and Ellen, Daddy and Mama, decided it was time for a family swimming party. So when I went down to the pool with Amy, Kathleen, Christine, and Forever, and we had planned to enjoy ourselves in the pool until around 7, when we were to have dinner together. Manwich was to be served at dinner. No doubt, Mike Fields and his wife would be joining us to be the guest of honor. So we were talking about the old deals at Swingfield. And what Granddad did for the community and the nation. 7 p.m. Eastern. The family is sitting down to dinner with Mike and Mary Fields, along with Mark and Harriet Vanderline, pastor of Capitol Heights Baptist Church. Jim? I feel a distance. I haven't seen you in church lately. You or your wife. I'll get this crazy phone to cooperate. I am demanding government business to run. Sure would be nice to see you and your clan in church tomorrow. Should be nice to see you and your clan in church tomorrow. Ma'am, I'm sorry. I'm a God-fearing and Bible-reading man. But sometimes I express it in other ways. Okay. August 14th, 1994. 3:50 a.m. In the front lounge, Jim and Betsy, having woke up, started a decent conversation about their marriage, with Jim promising he would do his absolute best not to fool around again. They talk about how they met each other in 1963, even though they both were seeing someone else. They started expressing interest in one another a few years later, and both remember Betsy's father, Jeremy Swain, having a strong disdain for Jim. 7 a.m. Eastern. The family sits down for a Sunday breakfast. The family sits down for Sunday breakfast when Daddy announced that whether he goes to church or not, which he really wishes he would, she would go with the family, regardless. Now, Jerry announces to the family that he would be going to Ascension Hills Baptist Church for the last time. (10:20 a.m. Eastern). At the church between Sunday school and worship service, J.R. is talking to Amy Orman about college. Looks like you got a good dorm assignment. Do you have Christian roommates? Amy asked. Kevin McDonald and Dave Smith. When Kevin McDonald and Dave Smith are devout Christians, I can't say the same thing for my other roommate, Charlie Nation. J.R. said, Oh, please, get him reassigned. You need good Christian roommates. Miss Orman, I'm sorry. They don't let you pick the roommates. Two p.m. Betsy invites JR to the upstairs kitchen in order to get some graham crackers and Nutella. With it, some good ice water. 7 p.m. Eastern. Dinner that night was the same thing as lunch. Homemade nachos. Betsy was going to invite Norma Sanders until Jim showed her last Tuesday's edition of the Society page. Betsy realized now, with Norma and Greg split up, Norma had turned into a liberal crusader, spreading gossip. J.R. was happy to be with his mother, but he was also saddened that tonight and early tomorrow would be the last time they would see each other for 3 months. Hope you enjoy listening to the J.R. Hendrick Texan Night. If you like what you hear, please subscribe and become a part of receiving most daily updates. This is James Hendrick Retirement saying until next time, get ready for the rest of the story. It's going to be very interesting from here.